Welcome to HR Minutes. I'm Tim Timmons from the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, and today I have with me Tim Mooney. Tim, it's good to have you with us. We appreciate you coming.
Tim, great to be here.
Now, you actually work out of where, Tim? Your home is where?
Is in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Scottsdale, Arizona. Well, we're glad you're here. Today we're going to talk a good bit about something that's near and dear to my heart. Most of y'all who know me know this, and we're going to talk a lot about Save Our Secret Ballot election, which got some feet earlier on, almost 2 years ago now, I think it started. So Tim's there from Save Our Secret Ballot. We're going to let you talk about what that really means and what it is a little bit, and then we'll have a few more questions, I'm sure.
Well, that's great. And again, thank you for letting me have a chance here, Tim. Save Our Secret Ballot is a national effort to create state constitutional rights for a secret ballot, including union organizing elections. It is in response to the actions of Congress, potential actions in Congress for the Employee Free Choice Act, which would implement card check rather than secret ballots for union elections. So what we're doing is we're saying in certain states that they're going to say, in our state, you can't do that. You must use a secret ballot, including when a union tries to organize a private employer.
Tim, what kind of elections? You say other elections. Obviously, most of the listeners are going to be real keen on the union elections.
Sure.
What other kind of elections are you talking about?
Well, surprisingly, most state constitutions and also the federal constitution does not have a guaranteed right to a secret ballot. It's kind of one of those things that's very unusual. I didn't know this until we started working on this, but the secret ballot wasn't used in America until fairly late. The first president to be elected by secret ballot wasn't until 1892.
I did not know that.
Neither did I, and most people don't. So what we're saying is, let's have people bond with what they're used to, which are secret ballot elections for other offices, and apply that towards this union organizing activity. Big thing we wanted to do was to take the issue out of Washington, D.C., because if this was a fight solely between big business and big labor in the halls of Congress, I don't like our odds, particularly about a nebulous issue called card check. So let's take it back to the voters, put it into a term they understand and can bond with, and let's guarantee that right there as a way not just to kill the bill in Congress, but even more than that, to kill the idea of not using a secret ballot in these elections.
Now, I'm assuming that's because you think it'll come up every year. If we don't kill the idea, somebody will bring it up every year.
That's exactly right. And our big fear now is I think that we're going to be okay with Congress. Congress is going to have a special session, a lame duck session. And that's pretty scary right now because whether it's Reed from Nevada, Boxer from California, or about 10 union-owned Democrats, they're going to come back either as newly reelected, owing the unions everything, or newly unelected, owing no one nothing. And that's a dangerous time for legislation to move in Congress right after the elections. If we're on the ballot now in 4 states. Here in South Carolina, it's called Amendment 2. In Arizona, Utah, and South Dakota. If we win these campaigns at the ballot box strong, we think we can keep Congress from doing something in that lame duck session. But the next challenge is the National Labor Relations Board. There's a new appointment to the National Labor Relations Board made last year, a fellow by the name of Craig Becker.
Yep.
Becker's history is he was the chief counsel to the AFL-CIO and to the SEIU. He's labor's guy on that board. He couldn't even get through a Senate confirmation, but the president appointed him as a recess appointment. He failed, the Senate failed to appoint him. They left town on a Friday. President Obama nominated him on a Saturday. He's got 1 year as a recess appointment, so he has until April 5th. And we think either the Congress is going to act in this lame duck session or the National Labor Relations Board is going to do it by executive order to implement card check to get rid of the need for secret ballot. That's why this campaign is so important.
Now, and the board could do that. If I understand it right, the board, through their decisions, can get a lot of what you and I refer to as EFCA done through their own judgments and decisions.
Well, they certainly think so.
Yeah, I've heard them talk about it.
And boy, we don't want to be a situation where it's he said, she said, and let's go to court. We want to make sure that we create this environment out there so that there's a political cost for doing this. One of the activities that we're looking at is we have to win these 4 campaigns and win them big. And South Carolina is one of those key areas in our national strategy. We win this big because the day after the election, Wednesday, November 3rd, is the first day of the presidential re-election campaign. And so we need to make sure that this becomes, it's a hot issue, that they don't dare do this. Because if they do, we need to make them to pay a political price and have that in the calculations, not just another giveaway to the unions. Let's face it, Tim, this administration has given everything to the unions they've wanted, even a car company, with the exception of this. This is the last thing that they really desperately want.
Right, Tim, I want to go one more place with you.
Sure.
You talked a lot about the president. You talked about his philosophy on unions and his support and the union support of him, quite frankly.
Exactly.
One thing I continue to be amazed at is there have been several recent, what I'd call major announcements that the president has made and intentions he's made that really weren't union related, but he's made them like at union meetings. He's made them to union organizers or to union members in their large meetings, and it's just drawing attention to them and giving them a lot of attention in the press.
It is. I mean, he really is wedded to the unions, and they're wedded to him. Whether it was at the big rally on Labor Day in Wisconsin or at the national meeting of the AFL-CIO, where he said, look, I know I haven't gotten anything for you, but stay with me. Stay with me. And that really plays into why I think this issue is so important right now, because the president re-emphasized his support for this, re-emphasized that they're working on it. And there was a quote from Richard Trumka from the AFL-CIO that he told PBS just last week, and I can say it verbatim. He said on this issue of card check, he said the president's for it, the vice president's for it, a majority of the House is for it, a majority of the Senate is for it, and just you wait, you'll see. He was asked, this year? Yep, this year.
So you've got the president for it, the vice president for it, the Senate for it, and the House for it.
Well, the current Senate and the current House, and that's going to be the key, is they've got a short window when they can really do something in Congress, because they're not going to have a majority come January 1, but they're going back into session in November and December. We anticipate that there'll be a pressure to do action then, which is why if we can show ideally 60-70% plus of voters in the states where we've been have said, no way, we're keeping our secret ballot, that'll give us the pressure to put on the Congress to keep them from acting. Then it goes to the NLRB, and we've got to make sure that that becomes a higher level decision to say, look, NLRB, if you do this, if you ram this through, which would be just devastating to businesses across the nation. But now, if South Carolina has voted yes on Amendment 2, they'll still be protected, but the other states will be hit. And then we're going to go and put pressure to go into the battleground states to put this on the ballot in 212 to rise this up to being an impactful issue that way.
Okay. You know, it's amazing to me, and I know, having been on management side of business my whole career, I know I'm slanted that way, so
Sure.
I understand that. But I just have a hard time understanding how anybody, I know that's a big statement, how anybody could think that it's wrong to give employees a chance to do a secret ballot election. All we're saying is, you know, when you're electing the president, you go into a voting booth, you cover yourself up, you vote, and nobody knows how you voted. If that's good enough for the presidential election, I don't know why it's not good enough for a union election. That essentially is what this is all about, is the right to vote in secret and have my vote counted.
That's exactly. Let me say three quick things on closing that. Yeah, we say and continue to say always that intimidation is wrong. Whether the intimidation comes from a union boss or your boss, it's wrong. With the secret ballot, you're the boss. In our polling across the country, not in every state, but nearly in every state, what we have found is the best demographic for wanting to do what we're doing, union members. Union members want a secret ballot, even more than the general public. And they understand this issue because of two things. One, they've been subject to union intimidation. And two, they know what this is all about. This is about their vote, their secret ballot.
They understand the right to a secret ballot election better than anybody else.
They get it, which is why, again, I just hope that everybody would really help us to get the word out about Amendment 2.
That's from South Carolina, Amendment 2.
Carolina.
And when will it be on the ballot?
This November.
This November.
Good.
Now, they can go to your website. You've got a website, too, right?
Yes, sosballot.org.
sosballot.org.
Right.
And we'll put that on the bottom of the screen for everybody, too.
Perfect.
Tim, we appreciate you coming today. Always
Thank
good
you,
to
Tim.
see you, and let's have a good campaign here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tim.
Thank
very
you.
much.